So the new Prey movie just dropped, and I'm going to leave my review here. Is it too woke? Or is the hype actually worth it? Here's my opinions coming right up. What's up, my boomers? It's me, Melanie Mac, here on my nerdy commentary channel, Melanie Mac Go Boom. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. So I'm just going to dive right in to this. Now, first of all, my expectations. Some of you remember my reaction video I made to the Prey trailer. I was actually hyped for it. I'm not even going to lie about that. I was hyped for it. I, in general, like a lot of monster type movies. In this case, Xenomorph. I grew up watching Predator, alien movies, all that kind of stuff. So I'm a big fan of like Godzilla, fantastical type fictional creatures fighting humans, in whichever case it may be, whether they are massacring a city like Godzilla does, fighting each other, or creature versus human, that type of thing. I did a live tweeting when I actually watched it, which was fun, but I wanted to make a video about it as well. So when it comes to the actual setting and all that kind of stuff, I think the setting is really neat. I like the whole native theme going on there, because not even for representation purposes, because I think having to have somebody that looks like you on the television for you to even like it, or somebody to be somewhat like you or part of your ethnicity or whatever, I don't need that. It's completely irrelevant. I want to see characters that I like. I want to see cool stories regardless. But I do think the native theme is cool. It's just fun. But I do think that the characters are all extremely bland, unfortunately. Every single one of them. The brother character was pretty likable to a degree, but even then they didn't really expand too much on everybody's personalities. They didn't really give anybody a lot to even go with. And the main character is just, she's got a chip on her shoulder right from the start, because it's like, hey, I want to be a hunter and nobody believes in me, and she's like mad at everybody for not believing in her. And in this kind of situation, what I think would be more interesting for her character is, instead of being mad at everybody not believing in her, when especially she hasn't given anybody a reason to, because she hasn't gotten any cool hunts under her belt or anything like that, doesn't really have a lot of prowess and skill to even be speaking for on her. Instead of being mad about people not believing in her, she needs to just be driven to show them and you know, just shrug it off. Okay, it's fine, they don't have to believe in me, but I'm gonna show you them. And like, keep it internal, speak with your actions, girl. When it comes to this type of thing, and you're gonna have characters, and especially when you're gonna have characters dying off, ideally you're gonna care when a character dies. That's the ideal scenario, that you care. But when you've got no personality to latch onto at all, and you don't really care at all when people die, it's just like, oh, okay. I think personally, when it comes to the main character especially, is she needed a glory kill before things totally went south, because Predator entering this situation, okay? So think about that bear scene, all right? The bear scene that happened, she ran away from the bear, the Predator kills the bear, all of that. That was pretty hot. Like, this might sound weird, but I found that scene very hot because I don't know what it is, but I always found Godzilla, Venom, Predator, they're hot. And I don't know if it's just because of the pure masculine energy that oozes off of them, but yeah. So seeing him pick up that bear, yeah, I'm about it. I was about it. But I will say, I think in terms of for character development and for making you feel something for the main character, I think giving her a glory kill, like let's say she did kill a bear. Let's say the bear went after the tribe, and she kills it and shocks everybody. You know, give her some sort of moment of glory, not necessarily as like some Mary Sue. I do like that, you know, we did see her struggle, you know, and you could see that, you could see her struggle with trying to hunt or whatever, but give her something. Just give her some sort of progression later in the story, instead of just going from, here's somebody who keeps failing and keeps failing and keeps failing, and then boom, out of nowhere kills Predator. I would have liked to have seen her have a moment. I do like, though, when it shows like her and her dog. The dog companion was cute, showing how she's trying to hunt, and she's kind of that training montage, if you will, and to let that kind of speak for itself, and there's not just this super cheesy like romance thrown in for no reason or something like that, you know, because when it comes to action movies, a lot of times they try to shoehorn a lot of stuff in it, and it's like, I just want to see action, some cool action, dude. Now let's talk about Predator, which I mentioned before. He's hot. I really liked his design a lot, and I liked just everything about Predator. I feel like this was an insanely awesome Predator portrayal in general. Loved how savage he was, because my goodness, was he savage. And like his skull helmet, I know some people didn't really like that, but I thought it was really cool looking. I love that fan shield. Very awesome. Almost every scene with Predator in it, except for the last final fight, was extremely awesome. So, loved it. As the story progressed, just kept making the main character even less likable, because she gets too many people killed. It's like pretty much her fault, and she doesn't ever even feel sorry for it, really. No remorse, no nothing. There was no sense of like connection with her and her tribe. Maybe a little bit with the brother, but that's only because the brother served as a validation tool for her. He didn't really stand that much on his own, and the only reason why I feel like the brother existed was to validate that the main character, hey, I believe in you. Yeah, I noticed this and this that you do. Oh, you're good at tracking. So he was just there to try to make her look good, instead of letting her look good through her actions. Later on, they added white people, French, I think. I'm not even totally sure. But I do feel like they served absolutely zero purpose in the story other than to be kill targets. There was no point in them at all even being there. I don't know why. I didn't really get the whole, oh, white man bad thing out of it. So, I mean, even though they pretty much were portrayed mostly negative, but it wasn't too awful bad. But I just feel like, okay, they needed more people to kill. I don't know if they just didn't want to only have Predator killing native people. I don't know why, but I do think that the only purpose, apart from being additional kill targets, was that that's how the main character got a hold of a gun. So I guess that needed to happen, considering that's partially how she killed Predator. But I still think they could have done away with that in general. She didn't have to have that gun. I especially think it was weird that she would even know how to operate it as well as she did. Not that she was a super marksman or anything, but to even have any sort of concept on how to operate that, if that was the first time she'd ever seen a gun, which I'm assuming it is, maybe not, maybe I missed something. I do think that's, yeah, lame. So, will I say, was it woke in general? Not really. I don't think it was. I think maybe some little undertones here and there. I do feel like wokeness probably held them back a little bit when it comes to really developing the characters and really having fun with the characters, because they were so focused on making things as grounded and accurate as possible with the characters, probably because they'd be called racist if they didn't, to where it made it less fun. Because this is the thing about action movies that I like, and when you look at movies like the original Predator, you got that exaggerated Arnie all swolled out and all that kind of stuff. You know, he's wearing that vest with no shirt underneath, and the whole, I like that about action movies, is whenever you can turn your main characters into like power fantasies, not keep everything super realistic, make the characters look larger than life, you know. And I would have liked to have seen that in this, you know, swole them out. Dude, I'm telling you, all the dudes look like Jack Skellington. So when people talk about how unrealistic it feels that a woman was able to save everybody, or a girl, because I don't even know if she was an adult, okay, I get it, but also considering she actually looked like she had more muscle mass than all the dudes combined. As small as she was, even it wasn't. Somebody had to step up. It was her in this case. So I don't know. I would have liked to have seen more fun, more actiony 80s and 90s movies vibes. You know, go ahead and swole the characters out. Give them these action movie inspired outfits. Like, make the outfits inspired by tradition, but not completely, totally accurate, you know? Let it go ahead and be this cool, exaggerated thing. But that's just me. I don't like super grounded stuff when it comes to action movies. But I feel like that the whole being afraid of being called racist and all that kind of stuff really held them back from diving more into what they could have done with the characters aesthetically, personality, all that. So there's that. There was a little bit of like girls belong in the kitchen vibe. So that the main character felt like she had to prove wrong and all that kind of stuff. So I guess you could argue that there was a little bit of wokeness with that. But in my opinion, this is a common thing that a lot of tomboys have gone through, at least during my day. Anyway, so I don't really see it as like super cringe or super woke, because I think, you know, I grew up as a tomboy, and I think that I speak for a lot of other tomboys that there were many times where we've had, you know, friends, family, anybody like that try to be like, okay, maybe you should be doing this girl hobby instead of playing football in the mud with the boys. You know, we've had moments of that. So that is relatable to some of us. But now I grew up liking to cook in the kitchen and to, you know, want to hunt and all that kind of stuff. So, but I digress. Anyway, I think that the last final fight was very underwhelming. Predator's demise was just super underwhelming. Anytime Predator was in the vicinity of the girl anyway, I feel like he lost his peripheral vision. He just somehow got combat amnesia. It just, he was savage with the dudes. But with her, it was suddenly, oh, wait, I can't see this way now. And I know at the final fight, like, he got the back of his head shot or whatever. And so, yeah, he'd be more disoriented. But he was like that with her from the start. That was a bit underwhelming. And again, it just feels so weird to see her struggling the entire movie, to see her goofing up the entire movie. And then, boom, she kills Predator. Just nothing in between to show that, hey, she learned and she got better as a fighter. Nothing. So overall, I'd say the people scenes, mostly boring, 4 out of 10. But Predator scenes, apart from that final fight, 9 out of 10. Freaking amazing. So I'd put that at like a 6.5 out of 10 as a whole. I think it's definitely worth watching if you want to see some action and you want to see Predator kick some butt, and if you're not expecting a masterpiece. So yeah, it's worth a watch as long as your expectations are in check. But it's not the best Predator movie ever made or anything like that. It's not something that you're going to remember, that people are going to be remembering for generations to come, like the original Predator, that's for sure. But hey, it's worth a watch, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world. So that's my opinion. It's worse than I was hoping it would be, but hey, I still am glad I watched it. I did really enjoy the Predator scenes, and I will be rewatching those scenes. So there you have it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I will catch you next time, and in the meantime, go boom.